Okay, so today we're going to demonstrate the technique of evaporation. So we generally do that when we have a solution and we want to boil off the liquid and leave the solid behind. So we need to have a set of equipment, and I have a list here of the equipment that you need. So we have a heat mat, and here is our heat mat. We have a tripod, and so here is our tripod. Notice the 3 legs, hence the term tripod. We have a gauze mat. So the gauze mat will spread the heat evenly across the surface of the tripod. We have an evaporating dish to do evaporation in. It's made of china or bone. Then we have a set of tongs to remove our hot equipment off the Bunsen. We have our Bunsen burner, a set of matches to light the Bunsen burner. We have our solution that we are going to separate, and in this case it's just some salt dissolved in water with a bit of blue colouring in it. And then we need, I like to have a spatula or something to scrape down the sides, and of course our safety equipment. So I'm wearing a lab coat and I will have my goggles on in a minute. So the first thing we need to do is to set up our equipment. So we're going to put our Bunsen burner, attach it to the gas tap, up close to the gas tap, our tripod, gauze mat, evaporating dish. Going to put on my safety goggles and add my blue salt solution. Now you probably only need a small squirt. The more liquid you put in there, the longer it's going to take to evaporate. Now we need to light our Bunsen, make sure our holes are closed. Here's the right side of the matches. Turn on our gas, shake the match, put to a working flame, and place in the middle of the tripod. Now as this starts to heat, it will boil and start to evaporate. Make sure that you're not looking directly over, because it will start to spit if it heats too quickly. So during the video we'll stop and have a look as it goes to see the progress. Alright, so if we focus in here at the moment, you can see that it is boiling, and you can start to see some of the crystals starting to form on the outside. So it's quite boiling quite rapidly in the middle, and we can see this ring of crystals around here. Okay, so you can see that the evaporation is going quite well, and the crystals on the side are starting to form, and it is bubbling quite aggressively, and so this probably only has a couple of minutes to go. We are going to remove the evaporating dish from the heat before it goes to dryness, otherwise you will actually take too much water out of the solution. So I know that sounds a bit strange. So in a minute or so I'm going to remove that and turn the gas off and allow the heat that's in the evaporating dish to complete the process. Probably got another couple of seconds to go. You can see it's starting to spit quite aggressively, which means particularly don't look over the side. So I'm going to turn that to a working flame, turn that off, and we use our tongs to remove it from there. Now you can see there is still a little bit of liquid left in the bowl, and the heat from the bowl will actually evaporate the rest of the solution that is in there. And then when it is all evaporated, you can take your spatula and scrape the side and get your crystals back And so that is the process of evaporation, also known as crystallization, because you end up with your crystals in your evaporating dish. Now when we come to pack up, we have to remember that our gauze mat, our tripod and our Bunsen burner are still going to be hot, so we need to give those a chance to cool down before we pack our equipment away. And so there we have it, the process of evaporation.